Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for clicking this video. My name is Tiffany. I'll be posting faith-based videos about family, lifestyle, mental health, marriage, and more. So if that's something that you're into, it's something that you're interested in, please like this video, please subscribe. I would love to have you on this journey with me. I would love to get to know you. I would love to be friends. And encourage each other through Christ. Thank you to everyone who has supported me. Thanks to everyone who has been encouraging me, giving me supportive words on this journey. You guys don't know how much it means to me, how much it's so encouraging, how much it keeps wanting me to do more and push to do more. I know that I have so much to give to the world, so much to say, so much knowledge, encouragement, and just so much love to give to the world, and I'm so happy to be starting this journey. It took me a very long time to get the courage to do this, so thank you guys so much. Please continue to keep me in prayer, keep sending me positive words of encouragement. It really means so much to me, more than you can imagine. So before I get into this video, I just wanted to give you a little backstory on me. If you didn't see my last video, I am married. My husband is in the military. We've been married for a year and a half now, so I don't have all the answers. I don't think I'm a perfect wife. I know there's still so much room for improvement within myself, but these are some tips that I wanted to share with you that has helped me and that I feel can help others. So as you can see from the title, I am going to be talking about how to be a godly wife. In this video, I probably am going to say something or some things that you are not going to agree with. If you don't agree with it, that's okay. Take what you agree with and ignore the stuff that you don't agree with. These are just characteristics that are biblical. So, how to be a godly wife. If you would like to be a godly wife, you need to be a godly woman. This is a woman who has committed her life to following after Jesus, which leads to a godly marriage. I'm sure there are plenty of marriages who have lasted and they don't consider themselves Christian, and kudos to them, but this is just this is my perspective. I believe that in order to have a healthy marriage, God should always be the center of the marriage. You should always try to have a godly heart. Both partners should always be seeking God, should always be renewing their minds daily, because that is how you have a healthy mindset. That's how you have a healthy heart, a pure heart, a clean heart, and that is super important for a marriage. A godly wife does not mean that you are a perfect wife. God does not ask for us to be perfect. Thank God, because there is no way that we can ever be perfect. Number one, read your Bible. Always, 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 always make time to read your Bible. But to really dig into it, really read it, and not just settle for a verse of the day or something simple like that. Read it until something sticks to you. Read it until it brings out change in your heart. Number two, be persistent in prayer. Prayer is super important. Prayer is essential, not just in marriage, but in singleness. Prayer is important in every aspect of your life. It's important for character development. It's important for intimacy with God. Prayer is super, 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 super important. Making time to pray. Pray for your spouse, pray for your marriage, but most importantly, to pray for yourself, for God to show you where you are wrong, for God to show you your heart, what areas need cleaning in your heart, because it's not always our partner who's the issue. Oftentimes, it's ourselves. Number three, a characteristic of a godly woman is the way she loves. Love in a marriage in real life is not the same as love in a marriage on TV. Love is a choice that you have to make every single day, even when you don't like the person. When you wake up in the morning and you do not like your spouse, you make the choice every single day to love this person. Love is a feeling, but love is also a choice. Love is a verb. It's something that you do. It's something that you practice. It's something that you choose to do every single day. The way you love your husband, the way you choose to love your husband is a characteristic of a godly wife. Number 4, forgiveness. This one is probably the hardest for most of us, or for a majority of us, to forgive our partner every time they mess up, or to forgive our partner if they've messed up in a huge way. But forgiveness is super, super important in a marriage. We cannot have a successful marriage if we are constantly holding on to something that our spouse did, if we are constantly keeping account of every wrongdoing that they've done. When your husband makes a mistake, when your husband does something to compromise the marriage, if you choose to continue in this marriage, you cannot keep reminding your husband of the past. You cannot keep reminding him of what he did yesterday. You just cannot keep reminding him of his wrongdoings. You need to choose to forgive. You need to choose to let go. Forgiveness is so hard. And you may reach a point in your marriage where you feel like too much has happened. Your relationship is so damaged that there is no way that you can forgive this person. If you are prayerful, if you are reading your Bible, God will change your heart. God will renew your mind. God will heal. God will restore. God will deliver. If you continue to seek the Lord, there's nothing that He cannot change. There's no marriage too difficult that He cannot transform. Number 5, selflessness. It is human nature to want what we want when we want it. We don't care how we get it. We want what we want. We're gonna buy what we want. We're gonna do what we want. We don't care what our spouse says. We don't care what our spouse wants. We don't care what our spouse likes, what our spouse doesn't like. We are only concerned with what we want. Selflessness is putting your spouse before you put yourself. Thinking about your spouse before you think about yourself. Selflessness is not being selfish. Selflessness is putting your partner's needs before you put yourself, putting the needs of your marriage before you put the needs of yourself. It's working on your marriage, even when you want to be doing something else. It's compromising. It's not taking control. Sometimes you have to let your spouse take control. Speaking for myself, I want my husband to be the leader. I want my husband to be a man of God. I want my husband to lead me as a wife. When we have kids, I want him to lead our family. That means that I need to try to remove my hands off of having control of certain things. I can't say that I want my husband to be the leader or the man, but then I want to control everything, or I want things to go my way. Before I got with my husband, I was on my own. I paid all my bills. I did whatever I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. Did not have to talk to anybody about my decisions. Did not have to ask for permission for things. And now I have to. That is something that I had to learn how to let go of. I had to learn how to let go of me and my needs and my wants for the better of my marriage. Number 6. This one is so important. There is a verse in the Bible that says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. What you speak to your husband, it's either going to damage him or it's going to build him up. If you're constantly speaking negative words into your husband, if you're constantly telling him what he's doing wrong, if you're constantly calling him names, putting him down as a man, as a husband, as a provider, as a father, there is no possible way that he is going to ever live up to be the husband that you want him to be. Words of affirmation are so important. Every day, I try my best to tell my husband, thank you for being the man that you are. You're so good at your job, or just little compliments like he looks good. Thank you for being such a hard worker. I try so hard to use words of affirmation and build him up, because it is so important to feel good about yourself. When you are being put down by your wife, Um, how can you ever feel good about yourself? If you don't feel good about your husband, how can you expect your husband to feel good about himself? How can you expect your husband to um, just be that husband that you want him to be when you are constantly talking down on him? When was the last time you complimented your husband? When was the last time you spoke kind words into your husband? If you feel like what I just said convicts you, or you know that you need to probably start talking more positive into your husband, try a challenge. Try a week of just speaking positivity and just using words of affirmations. No nagging, no complaining, no throwing subliminals, no negative talk. Instead, every day say something nice to him. Say you like how he looks. Say you're compliment him on on how dedicated he is at work. If he brings you dinner, compliment him on bringing you dinner. Appreciate all the little things. Admire the little things that he does. Even if you feel sometimes, me and my husband were at a point in our relationship where it hurt me to say nice things to him, because I didn't want to say nice things to him, because I was just so angry with him that I didn't feel like I had anything nice to say to him. But I wanted my relationship, this was before we were married, I wanted my relationship with him to work out so bad that I put those feelings to the side, and I still every single day tried my hardest to tell him something nice, tried my hardest to build him up, tried my hardest to make him feel good about himself. This day, my husband is so different. Like, he is a completely different person from the person that he was 2 years ago. Number 7, respect. Respect who your husband is. Respect him. When you're fighting and you're throwing nasty words at him, you're belittling him, you're calling him less than, that is so damaging. Not respecting his interests, not respecting his wants, his desires, it's damaging. It can destroy a relationship. Respect is one of the most important elements in a relationship, in any relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's mother-daughter, mother-son. Respect is one of the most important elements. The way women define respect is completely different than the way men define respect. It is important to find out what your husband considers respectful and what he considers disrespectful. Follow that, listen to that. It might be dumb to you, you may not agree with it, but if you choose to disregard that, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It's damaging. It's not biblical. We must be respectful. The Bible tells us to be respectful, period. I lost count of what number I'm at. But the next characteristic is patience. This was the biggest struggle for me. The biggest struggle for me. Before I got into this relationship, I did not know how impatient I was, and maybe I still am with people. I just expected, I expected my husband when we were dating, I expected him to be a certain way. I expected him to learn, to already have things learned, to be mature. I expected a lot from him, and I know I was hard on him. I was very, very hard on him in the beginning of our relationship. I just wanted him to be a certain way. I didn't want him to, I wanted him to have a relationship with God the way I had a relationship with God. So I was trying to force that, instead of just letting God deal with it and let God handle him. I wasn't patient with him. I wanted him to call me when I wanted him to call me. I wanted him to text me when I wanted him to text me. And he was in Germany, so there was a 6-hour time difference from Germany to Florida. So it was hard. It was very hard. It was hard to wait to see him. The beginning of this relationship tested my patience well, so well, until I just started growing as a person and started growing spiritual maturity, and I just realized I cannot expect this man to be who I want him to be. I cannot expect him to do what I want him to do. I can't expect him to feel the way that I feel. I had to sit back. I had to let God work in him. I had to sit back and let God work in me. Yeah, I had to sit back and let God work in me so that I can become the wife that my husband would need me to be. Till this day, I'm still working on that. I'm still working on being a godly wife, still working on trying to just be that wife that my husband needs. We are both two different people. We come from two different worlds, and I can't expect when we're coming together for it to be perfect. God is working in our marriage. God is working in him. God is working in me individually, and everything is on God's time. 4.5 years later, here we are. We are super good. We're healthy. We're in a great place. Are we perfect? No, but we love each other. We respect each other. We're communicating better, and we are just in such a great place. Next, always be hopeful and full of joy. Every marriage goes through seasons. Sometimes it's a season of happiness. Sometimes it's a season of growth. It's a season of you're super in love with each other again, and then sometimes it's a season where you hate each other. Sometimes it's a season where you can't stand the person and you're staying at hotels. You're kicking him out of the house. These are seasons. Every relationship, every marriage goes through a season. But if you remain hopeful and you remain full of joy, and you continue to just work on your character, work on who you are as a wife, work on your marriage, you're gonna see a difference. You're gonna see that you're gonna get through this season with ease. It may be painful. It may feel like you don't want to do this anymore. But if you just remain hopeful, God is gonna work in your marriage. God is gonna work in you. God is gonna work in your husband. If you want to see change in your marriage, you need to change yourself. You need to change what you're doing. You need to continue to work on yourself. You need to continue to grow. You cannot expect your husband to be the only person who's changing. One thing that I try to do with my husband is once in a while ask him, is there anything that you need from me? What can I do better? Things of that nature. Sometimes he'll tell me nothing. Sometimes he'll give me like a little scenario, and instead of being offended, I actually look at it and it convicts me, and this is what my husband wants from me. This is what my husband needs from me. I want to work on that. I want to fix that. I want to be better at that. Again, I am not a perfect wife. I've only been married for a year and a half. These are things that work for me. These are things that have worked in my marriage. We were not always great. We were not always good. They say the first year of marriage is the hardest. We've been married a year and a half. We had a rough 6 months when we first moved together, but we got through it. And we're in such a different space. So much growth, so much healthiness. Working on myself, working on who I am as a wife, who I am as a woman. It's helped my husband grow. It's helped my husband work on himself. I try not to be forceful. I try not to be negative. I try not to speak negative words to him. I don't try to change who he is. I respect what he likes. I respect what he wants. Being a godly wife just takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of selflessness. And sometimes it takes losing in arguments or losing battles in order for the marriage to win. Sometimes you gotta let your husband have it. you sometimes you gotta put your pride aside and say, all right, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll work on that. That is all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, you know how it goes. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love, the support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.